everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, everyone. And they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone. I am so excited. Guess what? We are here today with Grace DeLynn and her wonderful mommy. How are you all over there?
Good. We're doing great. How are you, Kim?
I'm doing great and doing even better now that Grace DeLynn is here gracing us with her presence. So I'm super honored to have you here today. Listen, everybody, grab your virtual seats. We have a great show lined up for you. We're going to be bringing balance to the world one household at a time today with our young author, Grace DeLynn. And this young girl is an author of The Power of Girls. Yes, we have a lot of twin power happening over here, right, today? Because not only do we have our books, but what else do we have that's matching, Grace? Mine has balance and hers has grace. She's drinking out of it because my teeth get sensitized. I'm using the straw. So we're going to have a great time. Grace is 11 years old, right, Grace?
Yeah.
And so I am going to formally introduce her to everyone, but let me go ahead and do that first. Grace DeLynn is an inspirational speaker, an actor, a dancer with a love of all things creative and fun. She began writing this book that she has at the age of, I'm going to let her tell you. I'm not going to reveal that in her bio. And many times as she grew and learned firsthand about the true power of girls. Now she's a tween and she loves inspiring young girls and women. And I know I'm personally inspired by her to discover their true power. So her heart's calling is to act in, oh man, I can't tell everybody this because then you won't be able to say some things yourself. So welcome. Right. I should stop, right?
I don't care.
Okay. All right. So she has her own goals and dreams, which we will reveal right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Welcome, Grace DeLynn, to the show.
Thank you.
All right. You're so funny. You remind me of my children. You're like, Mom, I don't care. I'm trying to hurry up and get back to school. I got things going on. My life, I'm balancing things. And so hurry up, lady. What do you have to say? The good thing is you actually like school, right? I hear you love school.
Kind of mostly because of friends, but yeah, I like school.
That's a good thing. I think friends and being social is important. And how important is that actually for your age, being a tween, being 11 years old? How important is friends at this age?
Well, depends on the type of friends you have. If you have really good friends, then they're really important. But you got to make sure to stay away from friends that aren't that nice, aren't really friends, but they act like your friends, but they talk behind your back, or they make fun of you and then say just kidding when really you can tell that they're serious. So the saying who you hang out with is who you become, or something like that, which is definitely true because that happened to me.
Now where did you get this child from, Christine? Come on, talk.
Oh, Kim, Grace, ever since she was born and could walk, she would find a stage. Wow. And I believe that we create the environment to be heart-centered and to live with the values of love and excellence and other values that I won't bore you with today because This is all about Grace. But the foundation that we create in our home is so important. And making sure that your kids are in the proper environments too. she's in a new school now and she's just thriving and flourishing. And I think the environment is very important for kids as well, and getting them plugged into the right places.
Wow. Okay. Well, throughout this interview, at some points, I know you're going to pop in and out, and I definitely want to get your feedback. One of the questions I'll ask you, Christine, is how do you encourage other parents to cultivate the gifts and the talents that are down on the inside of our children? So you can answer it now or just answer whenever you want throughout the broadcast. But I would love to hear your answer to that today as well. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. But right now we're going to talk to you, Grace. You actually talked about experiencing bullying at a very young age. I'd love to hear your philosophy on what happened from your perspective.
Well, I think bullying for me started around like kindergarten, but it would just be like small things that like now I'd kind of laugh at, but like then it was kind of hurtful. And it was all like saying things. It wasn't any physical bullying. But when I was in kindergarten, people would come up to me and say like, "Oh, you're fat, you're ugly," and that kind of happened like all the way until 3rd grade. And that's one of the only things that they were like said to me. But for me, at a young age, that really affected me and my mindset of who I am. And so as I got older, like I started letting my anger and sadness out on other kids, and then bullying those kids and saying, "You're ugly, you're fat, you're not good enough."
So wait. So what you're saying is that you experienced bullying yourself in kindergarten until about 3rd grade. People were saying things that were really mean and hurtful and calling you names. But even at that age, it was really impactful to you, to the point where now at 11 years old, you're still talking about those things and remembering those times, right?
Yeah.
And then you started bullying people.
Yeah. So like I said, like a couple minutes ago, like you become who you hang out with. And the people who would call me names were my friends. So I would like, some days we'd be like the best of friends, always hang out, and other days they'd be like mean to me and act like I didn't care, like it was a joke. So they'd say, "Just kidding." And then I'd like kind of sort of believe that they're just kidding, but like inside I knew that they weren't kidding. So as I grew older, now I have really, really good friends. I have a whole friend group. We're all like best friends, and I've known them since I was like, I've known all of them since I was like 6, but I became really good friends with them.
I'm only laughing because it really does sound funny to hear you say officially, back when I was in kindergarten, like that was like just like last month type of thing. You're so young. So to hear somebody have this level of wisdom at your age is something that I can't even hardly wrap my head around, as I'm 52, Grace. And so any woman my age would give anything to have learned and had the level of knowledge that you have already. So do you realize that you are actually wiser than an 11-year-old type of person?
Yeah. Yeah. A
So
little,
you do recognize that, huh?
I guess.
Okay. So now you said too that you were actually in a place where, because you were being bullied, it kind of became natural for you to become the bully too?
Kind of. I would sometimes I would like joke around. Like I was a class clown, so I would like usually make jokes about people without realizing that it would actually hurt their feelings. And then later on I'd figure out that it hurt their feelings. I'd get in a little bit of trouble, and I'd be like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that." So yeah, not all of it was like purposely trying to hurt them,
Okay.
but yeah.
But it still ended up hurting in some regard. So how did you ever make a between the two dynamics? Because you actually experienced bullying, but then you also did some bullying. What was that moment in time for you, Grace, that said that you came to the realization, I need to either be on this side of the fence or on this side of the fence, and this is going to be my stance. This is what I'm going to be in life. When did that happen for you?
Well, during the pandemic, I I was in 3rd grade, and then I had to like stop going to school and start like homeschooling and on Zoom calls. And one day I got into a fight with my sister, and then she's 7 right now. But she was like 5 or 6 maybe then.
Okay.
And then like things happened, and then I wanted to have breakthrough work with my mom. If you don't know what breakthrough work is, it's where you like think of an emotion and then like work through it, like
Okay.
try to, if it's a bad emotion, like what I like to call signal emotions in my book, it means it's a signal that you have to change your mindset, change what you're thinking into a new perspective of a power emotion, which is like love, joy, peace, like all the good emotions.
All the good emotions that you talk about in something that's very
Yeah.
important to you, that you're making a difference on this earth with, which we're going to talk about more throughout today's conversation. I do want to take a moment, everybody, and go to some of the virtual studio audience comments and see what's coming up. And let's see if we can acknowledge some of you all today. Let's see. Good morning. I see you out there. Thank you so much for tuning in, Facebook user. And anybody that you want to say something to, Grace, when we pop it up, feel free. Any other comments coming in? And y'all, make sure you flood this conversation with lots of shout outs and positive comments and wonderful joy and spirit to Grace DeLynn. Good morning, sunshines. Yes, girl power. And Athena Robertson is our sunshine expert here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Welcome, Athena. And tag lots of people, you guys, and share the broadcast. Okay, let's see who else. Vanita says, good morning, Kim, and beautiful Grace. Morning.
Hi, Anita.
Other comments. Let's see some more comments. Yes, Grace, come on and teach us. Who else had a comment? Yes, you have to be mindful of our friends that we keep. Let's stop there for a second. Grace, one thing that you keep saying, which I want to pick up on it a little bit more, is that there are people that act like they're your friends. So you don't know really any different because they're acting like, hey, how are you, Grace? What are you doing after school? Let's hang out and having fun. But then something quickly happens that lets you know, is that really a friend? How did you determine that this is a true friend and this is a fake me out friend?
Well, in my book, I have like this little question thing, like when you get a new shirt, do your friends do this A, B, or C, or whatever? And then it would like tell you what type of friends you have and stuff. But for me, how I figured that out, I obviously didn't do some sort of quiz or whatever, but I kind of just had a feeling like that this wasn't a good friend, especially if they like make fun of you. If you don't feel good around your friends, or if you don't feel heard, or like you have to act or look a certain way around your friends, they're probably most likely not very good friends. Because if you have to change yourself in front of other people, then that's not good, because real friends will like you for who you are, what you act like, what you look like, not your fake little thing.
That's such good advice. And everyone, we're adults that's watching this show typically, but in the comment section, just put, have you ever had some situations where you thought someone was a friend and really they weren't who they portrayed themselves to be? I know we all have experiences like that. When I'm a friend, Grace, I'm actually like all in. I'm thinking we're 100% together on this same page, right? And I don't have to fake out or anything. I just be myself, right? But then sometimes when you have some friends, it's like you don't know that they really are dogging you or doing something behind your back unless somebody else tells you that that's the case. It's like, this is not really a friend. Or unless you have what you said, I picked up on it,
Yeah.
What did you do when you picked up on it, and how did you address it?
Well, at first, because I was still in the state of like fitting in and stuff, and I didn't know, I wasn't as wise as I am now about friendships and stuff. So then I just kept on trying to fit in and kept on trying to like hang out with those people and not trying to back away from them because I really didn't notice it until after I started like not going to that school anymore and started homeschooling because of the pandemic. That's when like I started to, like, and then, like, I probably shouldn't have been hanging out with them. And then also during the pandemic, I wrote my book. Well, I started writing my book when I was like around the age of 6 and 7. Um, but I stopped for a long time because I was having all this drama at school. And then I was like, if I like are mean to people and people don't like me and I'm not pretty or whatever, then I probably shouldn't be writing a book about loving yourself and loving others. So
Good
I
point.
stopped. And during the pandemic, I started writing and writing. And the more I wrote, I learned more about myself. And then as I started writing my story, that's when I realized, like, oh, they're not very good friends. I have a lot of people to say sorry to. And then I had breakthrough work on guilt for this one boy that I made fun of. And yeah, a lot of things happened to make me where I am now with the wisdom of friends and stuff. So,
Wow. So
yeah.
you went back and literally apologized to people.
No. Well,
Oh, oh.
because I don't know where these people are now. A lot of
Oh,
people still go to that school, but they didn't really turn out to be that nice. And yeah,
well,
there's
let me say this in a different way because I think what I should say is that it's in your heart to just be sincerely like, you know what, I
yeah,
never meant harm. So right now on the show, let's use this. This is a good moment, right? Because like you say, we never know who's watching. You never know if this footage is ever going to get in the hands of one of the parents, right? Of these kids. So I will start and then you can say whatever you want to say. So
okay.
for me, Kim Jacobs, if there's ever a time, and there has been times that I have offended people, and you can take the comment down, Mackenzie, off the screen. But listen, I sincerely want every person in the world to know that I have love for every single person. Now, it does not mean that I'm going to hang out with people that I think do me wrong or don't have my best interest at heart,
Yeah.
but I sincerely love everybody. And that is because I believe that God wants me to love everybody or have some level of love towards every person on this earth. So, whatever I have ever done to offend any person watching this broadcast, then I sincerely apologize. And for those that have hurt me, I offer forgiveness to you as well. So, that's me talking out. Anything you want to say?
Sure. Okay. Um, if any of you are listening, that I might have joked around about you, what you look like, how you act, that was just me and my mind coming off of my emotions of other people making fun of me. That was not like the true me. That was not what I was meaning to do. A lot of the times I didn't realize I was being rude. It just came out thinking it was a funny joke. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm sorry if I offended any of you guys or anybody, and I'm sincerely sorry. Now I'm a lot better, and
Grace Deline, you got me over here crying. Your mom gonna have to come back in and just take over an interview because I'm over here crying. Okay, listen. Imagine if all of us could just have that level of Christine. You guys, your daughter done broke me down over here.
So, she actually wrote a note, a card to one little boy, and you were able to give it to him, but that's the day that they said that all school was shut down,
yeah, so
and they had to leave, and she didn't have an opportunity to resolve it. And we went into homeschooling, and now she's in a homeschool co-op charter type different situation, and she hasn't had an opportunity to resolve. So thank you for giving her that opportunity. That's amazing. Kids are learning, and
Yes.
they're learning how to navigate through life.
Well, we're
And
all learning. We're all learning, Christine. And so, no matter what our ages are, we can all learn from each other. And I think that having Grace Deline here today, it speaks volumes to that all of us can learn something from everyone, regardless of our age, our race, our nationality, our spiritual beliefs. We can all glean hope from each other. So I'm so glad to have Grace and her mom popping in, Christine. But listen, I would love for you all to share this broadcast. We're going to take a quick commercial break and honor one of our episode sponsors. And when we come back, let's talk some more to Grace about just dreaming big and what does it take? Is it an age limitation on that? We're going to come right back after this break. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
We're back. Oh, Grace, I should have tipped you while we were backstage. I could see you. Whoop, whoop. There you go. Balance for me, grace for you. Grace and balance. How about that? Imagine having grace and having some balance. There you have it. All right.
Okay.
So I missed what you said, Grace. What'd you say?
Oh, I just spilled some water.
Oh, I do that all the time, and it runs right down my chin on my shirt, and I'm like, thank goodness it's water, right?
I just spilled on the table, but yeah.
Okay, so people are chiming in again. Before we continue our conversation, let's see what some of the comments are. Mackenzie, pop some of those up for me.
If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer too.
Any questions you all have, and let me also do this. I will pop the link, as I always do, in the comment section. If anybody wants to come on and say something directly to Grace, you can use that link and it'll bring you right backstage, okay? Athena Robertson said, I just shared the broadcast. Thank you so much, Athena. Let's see who else made comments. I told you an hour, even though we have an hour, we kind of use it creatively. So you see how it's kind of flowing? Yes. A genuine loving kindness is what this young lady has, Dennis Spraggins says. And speaking of Dennis, everybody, let me let you know that Dennis Spraggins is going to be on the Kim Jacobs Show. I go and pull out an audience member who's like a faithful supporter, and he's always in the studio audience. I don't know Dennis, but I'm excited about interviewing him. So he's going to be right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So be sure to tune in and watch him on tomorrow. He's a poet, an author, and a father, and he's talking about oppression from his own point of view as one of our studio audience members. Okay, go ahead. Next comment. Let's see. Grace, you are wise beyond your years and your age. I wish I had known these principles when I was young. And I don't know, you have to put your name if you're a Facebook user on a private group. All right, let's go. Keep it going. Some more comments. Okay, Mackenzie, I can see you doing that backstage. I told you that throws me off a little bit when you do that. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Benita said, yes, I have. I was always that friend who was there for others. But when it came to me, they were not there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Did you separate yourself from those friends, Grace?
Me?
Yeah. Did the friends that you realized were fake, did you stop dealing with them?
Yes. I haven't seen them in almost 3 years.
It's been a few years, like 3 years.
Kristen, you got to admit this does sound interesting when she speaks from her perspective to say, "Oh, I haven't seen them in a long time." But she's 11, right? So it sounds bizarre.
Well, we moved into a homeschooling format, and now we're in like a charter co-op. So we changed the environment, and so that's
important. So everything's changed since the pandemic.
Right. Everything changed. And, you know, we know that those kids are just learning too and navigating through emotions and how to deal with relationships. And so I feel it's important to always consider and have compassion for choices that people make based on experiences that they've had. We're all doing the best we can.
And I agree with you on that philosophy, because you only know what you know. And we only can see ourselves, like Les Brown says all the time. You can't see yourself when you're actually in the picture frame. I can only see what I see, but you may see something very differently So that feedback from other family and friends to say, hey, show some compassion in this situation. Maybe they're going through a difficult time, and just be a little more lenient with them. But it still doesn't mean that we have to be the punching bag for a situation either, right? So,
Yeah.
okay. Any other comments coming in? Congratulations to, okay, yes. I have had fake friends, someone said, yes. And I see Athena Robertson said that, Grace, you are a bright light to the world and empowering young girls all over the world. My mom typed a paragraph. She's in her 70s, and for her to type a paragraph, Grace, is a big deal. She said, good morning, Kim and Grace. I'm looking forward to a great show. I have read some of your book. My mom read your whole book as well. It is a super good, interesting, and informative book. I plan to get more books and share them with my granddaughters and other girls to read. So we have a lot of girls in our family. She's going to buy some books from you. All
That's so
right.
nice.
All right. So I see, somebody, Vanita said, yes, I was always that friend who was there for others, but when it came for them to be there for me, they were not. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So those are some of the comments that came in. I wanted to share a quick clip. Let me see if I can make that happen. It's a clip that you're speaking. I'm not going to be able to show the whole thing, but I do want to share. Grace is speaking here at a conference, 100X, right? Did I say that right? 100X Favor Conference. And you'll be able to see this on her website, but I would love to just show you maybe about 2 minutes or so of it right here. And she's well off to motivating the masses. Here we go. Let's see. What made you speak at this conference?
Oh, so let me just tell a quick story about that. So I went to a conference last year in October, and I'll actually be leaving for the same conference tonight or tomorrow morning, early in the morning, because there's another 100X conference going on for 3 days this weekend. So I'll hopefully be leaving tonight to go there. But I went there last October, and there's a kids conference and a grown-ups conference. And at the last day out of the 3 to 4 days, I got called on stage. Like, all the kids got called on stage and only like 2 or 3 of them got to share a little bit about what they learned during the 3 to 4 days. And so I was one of the kids who got to like share about what we learned. And I was like, so I got to meet Les Brown because I met Les Brown at 100X, and he actually endorsed my book, which I can share what he said in a second. But he endorsed my book, and I got to meet him, which was a really great experience for me because he was there because he was speaking at the event. And then I was like, he endorsed my book, and then the owner, the creator of that event, Pedro Adeo, right? He was like, I want to buy 100 of your books, and can you speak at my next conference? So I was like, well, yeah. And so he bought 100 of my books. I gave him 50 in March, and then I'll give him 50 for this conference again. And then the next conference, this March or February or something, January, I don't know, January, February, March, something like that. I spoke for 10 minutes at their event, and I met a lot of fun people, and now I'll be going to the event again. So, yeah. And
awesome.
I'll just share what Les Brown said real quick, and then you can play the video.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Here's our book. Here's what he said. Grace DeLynn is wise beyond her years. It is refreshing to see this young lady's leadership and hunger to inspire the world. The True Power of Girls is a book that will help girls of all ages find their true selves and live confidently in their dreams. Les Brown, world-renowned motivational speaker and best-selling author of You've Got to Be Hungry.
Woo! Now, how many of us know that's a major accomplishment to have Les Brown, motivational speaker, endorse her book, The Power of Girls? And so I'm going to share this quick clip with you. The True Power of Girls. The True Power of Girls. And let me put this up from her speaking briefly. We're going to only just...
Welcome to 10-year-old Grace DeLynn.
I just like to honor someone today, or a couple of people today. I like to honor my family. They have just blessed me so much, and I'm so thankful for them. So thank you for supporting me. And I'd like to bless Pedro and Suzette Adeo for this amazing opportunity to speak on their stage. I'm just so grateful. They are such an amazing couple. God is just working through them. Let's give them a big round of applause. Raise your hand if you have a dream job, dream business, Now I want you to raise your hand if that job or that dream seems too hard or too risky. You're not sure how to get there. And raise your hand. Okay. Well, I want you to turn to your neighbor and I want you to say, you are unique, you are loved, and you've got the power. Pursue my dream. And my dream is to write this book called The True Power of Girls. And I want you to repeat after me. Dreams may take a while. Dreams may take a while. And that's okay. And that's okay. Albert Einstein, y'all know him. It took him 1,000 tries to make electricity. And 1,000, he probably got electrocuted. He might have even killed his cat. I don't know what happened, but he kept on going until he pursued his dream, which is making electricity. And I would have stopped trying to make electricity around 40 times. I just would have stopped and I would have given up. But you know why I would have given up? I would have given up because a little bully probably would have creeped inside my head. And it would have said, can't do it. You're not good enough. And we all know who that bully is, right? We all know.
Yes, we all know who that bully is. And it's not always even other people that bully us. It's sometimes the bully that we have right within ourselves, talking ourselves out of pursuing our own goals and dreams. Right, Grace?
Yeah. Yes.
You're an amazing speaker. I am so in awe of you. Now, how do you recommend people pursue their goals and dreams? Because we're going to talk the second half of this whole show about your book, exclusively about your book. But I think I would love for people to hear, do you have to be perfect to pursue a dream or a goal, or what's your philosophy on that?
Okay. No, you do not have to be perfect because nobody's perfect at all. Everybody has their own little flaws or whatever. So for me, I personally think that anybody can pursue their dream at any age, no matter what they look like, how much, how much money they have, even if it's not a good idea, they can pursue it and make it better to where it can become a great business. Trying to think of someone I could use as an example.
Yourself.
Yeah, me. But I don't know. There's a lot of people who have started off. I know one. So who's that girl from Breakfast at Tiffany's? What is her name?
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn. Okay. I love to act. I love to sing. I love to dance. Anything that involves being on stage and being in the spotlight or whatever. I love to act. That's one of my top favorites, though, acting. And so Audrey was an actor in a lot of movies, but her main one is Breakfast at Tiffany's, if you know what that is. And I have this book about inspirational women and stuff. And I learned that Audrey Hepburn, when she was little, she was so poor that she actually had to eat tulips because those are the only things that she could eat. Not because she liked them, but it's just because if she didn't eat anything, she would starve of hunger. And she started, and her mom wanted to be an actor, so her mom moved to like Hollywood or LA or something with Audrey. And her mom didn't make it out as an actor, but Audrey got inspired and she started acting, and now she's like pretty. She's a big name now.
Oh yeah, world famous. Yes.
But yeah, she's world famous. So I thought that was really inspiring that she started out with nothing, and then now like almost everybody knows her name, which I
Yes.
think is really cool. So it doesn't matter how you start off as, even, I don't know, like she was like didn't have a home, she had nothing, and now she's like a famous actor. I think she's dead. Yeah, she passed away,
Passed
but she's
away.
still like a lot of people know her name.
Oh yeah, everybody will know her name for the rest of
Yeah.
history. So she's gone down in history as a well-known actress that's hit the scenes and changed people's lives from being able to watch her many contributions to theater and performance. So awesome,
Mhm.
awesome point. You're making points that it's hard to, we'd have to go do some deep dive research. Okay, so everybody listen. As we're talking to Grace Delenn, Grace, tell us why Grace Delenn? Because I mean that's like a unique
Oh.
name.
So Dylan is my middle name.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my grandmother's name. We call her Angel Grandma Dylan because she's my dad's mom who passed away before I was born, when my dad was like in college or something. So I never got to meet her. So my middle name is Grace Dylan, and my last name is like this weird wonky Norwegian name. So it's hard to pronounce. Like if I tell people at school, they'd be like, try to pronounce it and it sounds like really wrong. So it's just a confusing name. So I just decided to go by Grace Dylan. It's like my stage name, but then again, it's also my name because that's my middle name. So
Okay. Cool.
Grace
Well,
Dylan.
speaking of middle names, I'll tell you my middle name is named after my grandmother, Vader. But in the middle, my mom put some extra stuff on it to make it even more cute. But people started calling me Darth Vader in school and bullying me in that way. I was like,
Huh.
before I used to hate the name growing up because people would put it towards Star Wars or whatever, Star Trek, whatever it was associated with it. But then as I grew older, I'm quite honored now to be having something associated with my great grandmother. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're on the same page, Grace. Are you enjoying this interview so far?
Yeah, it's fun. I like talking.
Awesome. And so what we're going to do when we come back from this commercial break, I see you, Vanita, saying that you love this. Let me also tell you all that this is just a fun fact. Thank you, Cassandra, for sending this in. It's from gatekeepers.com, how to publish a book written by a child. How old do you have to be to publish a book? Well, the youngest child to write a published book was 4 years old. Her name is Dorothy in 1964. And since 1964, publishing has changed drastically. As a result, it is now even easier to write books and to also get consideration, editorial, legal, and marketing decisions as well. But it's a very involved process. And does a child's book need to be copywritten was another question. The U.S. Copyright Office does issue copyright protection to minors. So these are just some fun things to know pertaining to some statistics that Cassandra pulled from Gatekeeper Press.
My sister actually wrote a book when she was 4 too. So
she needs to be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, it's called Love is Made Forever. You can't really necessarily buy it yet. It's not like fully published, but we have like the book. It's in spiral bound from FedEx, But she wrote a book, so at the age of 4, yeah, Mom can.
Now, what inspired you to write your book? Because I'm going to pop this picture up, and then we're going to take a commercial break.
Me. I don't know, me. Yeah. So what inspired me to write my book, right? Yeah.
That's you over. Where am I pointing? Okay, that way.
Yeah, I have the turquoise sweatshirt. That's me. Okay.
Yes.
So what was it? Oh yeah. How?
What inspired you to write your book?
Yeah. What inspired me was, well, first of all, my mom sort of inspired me because when I started writing my book, she was sort of in the middle of writing her book, like around that time, or like publishing, writing her book. Unleash.
Let's see her books. Yes. Unleash Your Rising by Christine Gale.
And so that's part of what inspired me. The other part was Emma Watson. So Emma Watson is an actor. Like I said, I love acting and actors and movies and stuff. So Emma Watson is one of my favorite female actors, and I really, really, really wanted to meet her because when I was in kindergarten to first grade, I was like, I loved Emma Watson like a lot. I really wanted to meet her and see her and all these things. And so I was like, Mom, how can I meet Emma Watson? Because I need to meet Emma Watson. And she was like, well, she has this book club where if you write a girl power book, then you could possibly meet Emma Watson. So I was like, I'm writing a girl power book. And so I started writing. At first it was The Power of Girls, but then as I started writing, I was like, it's the true Power of Girls, and there's also like another book called The Power of Girls. So True Power of Girls. Yeah, The True Power of Girls right there.
The True Power of Girls.
Yes. Yeah. So The True Power of Girls, I started writing it. And like I said, I paused for a while because I was like, I make fun of people. I can't write a book about loving other people and loving yourself. I think I'm not pretty. I think I'm ugly and fat because that's what other people say. So I can't write a book because I don't love myself. And that's one of the main messages of my book. And it kind of wouldn't make sense to write about things and then not experience it yourself too.
Correct.
So paused writing it, like I said earlier. And then during the pandemic, I started writing it, and finally it got published earlier this year. And so, yeah,
that's awesome, Grace. And one thing that I, just in lending more grace to ourselves, because sometimes as authors, I'm the author of 4 books as well. I've either collaborated in writing some or I've written one myself. But here's the thing. When I'm writing or sharing any piece of my chapter or my story in any of those books, there are some pieces that you find yourself, you're like, this is not something I'm doing excellent at myself right now. But I love how authentic you're being and being able to confess that and say, maybe I need to step back for a second, a little bit and work on me and then come back to the drawing board. I just think that's outstanding advice that you're giving. And so when we come back, we're going to talk about, for the rest of this show, we're going to talk about the true power of girls. Let me put this back up again. I'm going to make sure I give you the QR code too. The true power of, you see right here what this girl is doing. She's pointing to her product. She's like, go get the book. Go get the book at Grace. Let me put wait a minute, Grace. Okay, Mom, can you screenshot us doing this? Put your book up, Grace. Pick your book. Wait.
Oh, wait. Yes. Let me get the screenshot here. Okay.
Let me take my glasses off.
So good.
I know y'all are probably like, what is Kim doing over there? I can do this all day long. I love children. I love young ladies and young men, and just being able to see people reach their goals and their dreams. Here, this is the QR code. Everybody screenshot it and make sure that you get a copy of Grace DeLynne's book, The True Power of Girls. I also want to make sure that I put up here, and I'll put the QR code again, but I want to make sure that you know to go to her website to get the book, and it is GraceDeLynne.com or
girls.com.
I'll put both of those up again towards the end of the broadcast. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what inspired you, Grace. We already talked about what inspired you, but I would like for us to go ahead and go through some of the book. It's some good stuff in here that I want to talk to you about. Embracing your emotions. Let's kind of start there. Embracing our emotions. And what type of power emotions. I think you talked about it a little bit, but I like to talk about the emotions overall when we get back, okay? Right after this commercial break, everybody, will be right back.
I have peace of mind with Silver Shield Security, which has been protecting my family and home, along with servicing the Carolinas for over a decade. Silver Shield Security knows the importance of convenience and safety. Whether you live in an apartment, a home, or run a business, they are here to protect you from unwanted intrusions and fires. Call now at 704-440-4688 or visit the website at www.silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #ToneX and get 1/2 off your installation price. Don't forget to ask about the new no money down options. Let Silver Shield Security help to give you peace of mind, just like me and my family, and keep your business safe.
Hey everyone, we are back and we're talking with Grace DeLynn about her book, The True Power of Girls. And this is an excellent read, okay? But you talk about embracing your emotions. How do you recommend people embrace their emotions?
So to me, embracing your emotions means letting your emotions like not hiding your emotions. Like if you are I don't know, sad or mad or something, it doesn't, or hurt by anybody making fun of you, which was me in my situation. Don't keep it in, because that's what I did, and that's what caused a lot of problems. Because when people like made fun of me or whatever, I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell my teachers, I didn't tell anybody. So I kind of kept that to myself for a while, and that can cause a lot of problems, because when everybody found out, that's when I started bullying other people. And I might be wrong, but if I were to share everything, it could have stopped earlier, and I could have not have had those problems of making fun of other people. So embracing your emotions, I'm actually just going to go ahead and read the introduction for the chapter, because that's has the most information, really. Okay, embracing your emotions. One of the important parts about understanding your true power as a girl is embracing your emotions. You might notice sometimes your emotions can make you feel good, and sometimes they can make you feel bad. Emotions can also help you learn something about yourself. They give you an opportunity to change, use your girl power voice, or tell someone what you need and what is going on. Sometimes emotions can make you cry. It is okay to cry and tell somebody you trust about your emotions. Sometimes they can make you feel better and make things right. In this chapter, we're going to do a lot of journaling, so go ahead and grab a pencil. I'll share with you about the 2 types of emotions, power emotions and signal emotions. Hopefully this chapter will give you tools to work through your signal emotions so you can feel loved and happy.
Wow. So is there any specific emotion that you think is more important than the other, or do you think there's just a balance?
I feel like my favorite power emotion, which is like the good emotions, is probably love, because love can mean tons of different things. Loving yourself, loving others, but it's not like romantic love, like loving people like for who they are, and
Loving people for who they are. Okay. I
yeah,
love
and
that.
loving yourself for who you are, not trying to change yourself.
Okay. And I see in your book there are all different like places where you can take notes and
Yes.
journal, which I really love that a whole lot about your book. And the other thing that I wanted to say is, what age group is this book geared towards? Because I saw the age in here, but I want the audience to know.
Yeah, so it's around ages 7, which is when I mostly had these problems, to 99. So it's like a big age group, ages 7 to 99. It really doesn't matter what age, but most likely, like, I don't know, ages 7 to 16, but grown-ups, yeah, 7 to 99. That's
and I really can vouch for that, because when I read this book, I officially felt like you were speaking to me, and I'm 52 years old. There are things in here about mindfulness versus mindset, and these are things that we talk about as business owners, as mothers, as entrepreneurs, as motivational speakers, but to hear it from an 11-year-old perspective, it is just mind-blowing. Can you tell us from your own perspective the difference between mindfulness and mindset?
Okay, so mindfulness to me is finding a spot by yourself, or even like around tons of people, and just being able to calm yourself down in any situation, even if you already are kind of calm, but you just need to take a break. In my book, I also have like mindfulness techniques, like Satyanama, square breath, flower breath, and I can maybe show you guys a little bit of those in a second. But
Yeah.
so mindfulness is like calming yourself down, like being able to physically and mentally calm your body and find peace. Mindset is being able to put your mind to something and being able to do it without thinking. So in my book, in that chapter, I shared the story about the 100X where I met Les Brown and stuff. And I think that's the story I shared in that chapter because I had the mindset, the goal to be able to speak on stage and
Yes.
share.
Let me read what you said. You said it took a positive mindset for me to talk to Les and to take a picture with him. He said that he would endorse my book without me even asking him, which is a great blessing for me because I wasn't sure if he would even want to endorse the book. But I was relieved when and grateful that he wanted to endorse The True Power of Girls. And you went on to say a lot more that you all need to get the book to read and hear. This is good stuff. And mindfulness, you said, can be done anywhere, anytime, no matter what is going on. And you do not have to sit down and close your eyes to do mindfulness, although that can help, is what you said. This is good. Okay.
And I have mindfulness techniques. My favorite personally is Satyanama's. It's kind of a funny word, but I even do this at school with my friends to see who can do it the fastest, like for fun. But it's
let's do it, Grace.
So I'm gonna make sure you can see my hands. But usually you like rest them on your lap or something. So you go just like that. And
wait a minute, before you do it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the background for a second. Okay. And I'm going to put you over here so I can put you larger. And that way you can now take it away.
Now you guys can see me. So you take your hands kind of like this, like up to the ceiling or whatever. And
this is something you can try at home, everyone. Go.
Yeah, you can try it right now if you'd like. You take each finger and you just tap your thumb one at a time. You could start off slowly, but once you get the hang of it, you can go like really fast. But you just touch each finger like that. And yeah, I usually do it like this and like take deep breaths, or like you can breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. And you could just do it for fun. If you're like a kid and you're at school and you're kind of fidgety, you can just do like this while with on your left hand, then writing with your other hand, just to like give you something to do, but you're also not distracting the other students, which is what I actually do at school. So yeah, Satyanama is one of my favorites.
That's good. So you can be like, so that you can.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Great feedback. Okay. All right. So let's go back over here and put us back. All right. This is just incredible. So mindfulness versus mindset. And what other tips would you like to share with people? As far as one of the things in the books that you talk about as well is that girls just want to have fun.
Yes.
I love that.
I like the song "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" by Cyndi
Lauper or something.
Yeah, something like that. And so one day I was writing and I was thinking of like more chapters because I only have a little amount of chapters. Then I still kind of do have a little book. It's a pretty short book. It's an easy read book.
Yes, you can read this in like a day and start applying these tips to your life.
Yeah. So and I was like, oh, I know. Because my mom was like playing the song "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," and while I was like writing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a chapter about girls just want to have fun." So that chapter is all about friends mostly, and finding the right friends. Because when you're with the right friends, you're usually most likely having fun.
Yes.
So, being with the right friends means you're having fun and you're excited to see those friends. And actually, before we went on, I actually read that whole entire chapter for fun, like girls just want to have fun. So let me find that. But in this chapter, there's a quiz, like I said, on so first there's like my friends and their
Yes.
families.
I have that there. Yeah.
And then there's like a quiz about, so let me just, this is mostly for like the kids who still go to school and have friends, but I guess
Right.
it's going to be for grown-ups too if you want to do it.
It is for grown-ups because we have a separate journal thing, my mom and I, and we read our books and then we journal in a different
Oh,
journal
that's
of
cool.
the exercises.
So yeah, let's see. Okay. Here's one of the examples that I put. So here's a quiz to find out if your friends are good friends or bad friends. Before you
Yes.
start, grab a piece of paper and a pen. Write down all of your friends' names and write your answers to each questions below. Then find out who are your good friends and who are your not so good friends. So here's the first question. I'm not going to say all of them, but I'll just say one. When you have a brand new outfit and show it to your friends, do they A, compliment you and say, that's so cute, which is what my friends do. B, ignore it. They do not care about fashion or you. Or C, say that it's so out of style. Is that a hand-me-down from your grandma? Yeah. And then
That's really a good one. Okay.
at the end, it says like mostly A's, mostly B's, mostly C's, and it'll tell you like what type of friends you have. If you have a great friend, it'll say like you have a great friend, stay close to that friend. If you don't, it'll say what you can say to that friend to work it out, or just like stay away from them.
This is good.
So yeah, that's girls just want to have fun, and then there's a couple more things, but
Well, they have to get the book for that. So let's put up here again
Yes.
how people can get a copy of the book, and I have it right there. Tell everybody how they can stay connected with you and how they can get a copy of the book.
Yes. So you can get a copy, like it says, on the TruePopGirls.com or GraceDillon.com. And you can buy a copy. You can watch the video of me doing my 10-minute speech at 100X. You can watch another video of me speaking at this other conference when I was like 8 or 9 or 7 or something. It was like a 2-minute speech at this other conference. And then, or you can follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on YouTube, on all the platforms or whatever. Mostly Instagram is like one of my main things. So my Instagram is Grace Dillon, and then my TikTok is the official Grace Dillon official. I can actually put those.
Here I have. I'm already typing it for you, Grace. What I want you to do is say the acronym of your name, though, because you do teach people how to break their name down with acronyms, and you give a lot of different adjectives to describe that. So break yours down right quick, and then.
Oh yeah, it's on your story.
Grace Dillon. And what's your other IG? And then you said TikTok is what?
Hold on. I think it's Grace Dillon official underscore.
Okay, Grace Dillon official. Okay, so that I put that up there for people to stay connected with you as well.
Yes.
So tell us the acronym of your name, and then we're going to get ready to close out, everybody. This has been an incredible episode.
Okay, here we go. So there's like a lot of journaling on the chapter Your Story. It's a lot of questions and stuff. Okay, so here's your acronym. Here's my acronym. Now let's write about who you are inside. A fun way by using your name as an acronym. For instance, my name is Grace, so I would write, so I spell my name Grace, obviously. So graceful, respectful, adventurous, caring, exciting. That's my acronym. And then I also have,
lots of suggestions.
Yeah, I have the whole entire alphabet, and I have like 4 suggestions for things each alphabet. So alphabet.
For every letter in the alphabet, she actually gives you some words that you can use to be able to have an acronym that would fit your name. Mine was Kim, so kind, independent, and I put making a difference in this world. That's what I put for myself.
So good.
Yeah, that's cool. And I even have acronyms for like V and X and Z and Y. Like I have like whole alphabet. So
I think you had to look those up in a dictionary, right?
Had to look them up on Google. Yeah.
But you can save yourself in looking this up in a dictionary by just getting a copy of this book yourself and having it in your library. Get it for your grandchildren, for your children, for your nieces, nephews, anybody can
Yeah, it
benefit
is.
from this.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them the price.
She's like, Mom.
Oh yes. Okay. So first I'll tell you the price. The price for one book is $16.95, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, $16.95, 2 for $30. Or you can donate books to Girls Coming Out of Human Trafficking, which is one of my number one things to donate. We just found an organization that helped girls get out of human trafficking. So yeah, that's right. Okay.
Awesome.
We've had quite a bit of books donated for that cause, so we're excited to
Yeah.
continue that movement.
That is so incredible.
Girls, give it to them. I want to start making like t-shirts and like merchandise too for my book. So I'll hopefully be making that sometime this year, maybe next year. I can also donate that to the girls with the book. I'm looking into selling a lot of like things, merchandise for my book, so I'm excited to get more into that later on. So yeah.
I am so excited to have this honor and privilege to be able to speak to you here on the Kim Jacobs Show. You have made our studio audience experience so much better because you graced us with your presence today, Grace DeLynn. Christine, is there anything that you want to say that you didn't get a chance to say throughout today's broadcast?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. You know, I just let her shine and all that she's doing. And if I were to offer any advice to other parents, is to really discover what your kids are interested in and allow them a platform for that and guide them in that. And because kids have gifts and talents, and I believe that God's given kids a mission and a purpose. And they're here during this time for a very important purpose. So it's important, if possible, if they have any type of passion or talent, to let them shine in that and support them in every way that you can, and be willing to make a change if you need to change an environment for your child too, and get them around the right people, and not to be afraid. I think for me, I'm like, can you just be a kid? But not to be afraid. Allow them to shine and notice what they're good at, and encourage them in that. So
that's so good. So good. Vondra Leek says, Grace is such a blessing to other young ladies. Keep shining. And we'll pop the rest of your comments up. I see fourth quarter finished strong. And what's the final question I guess I would ask is, what's next for you? Because you know how people say, what's next for you? What's next for you, Grace? Outside of school in 2 minutes. What else is next?
Yeah. Acting. I am currently in a theater production, Annie, with this kids theater thing. I'm one of the background orphans, but I'll also be auditioning for another Annie to be Annie.
She's hoping for the main role of Annie.
Yeah,
yes,
because
she's
I
gonna
think we should have it.
yeah. So what I'm in right now, I was like, in the top 8, and out of the top 8, I was probably in the top 3
Wow.
out of those 8. So, yeah, and I also love to dance, so I'm doing like dance and acting and theater, and trying to get kind of like, I'm just doing a lot of things.
You're going to be doing a lot of things. So y'all keep looking out for Grace DeLynn, and make sure you go and grab a copy of her book, which is The True Power of Girls. I'm going to put that QR code back up again and take this down. But I want you all to go and get a copy of The True Power of Girls and support her on her journey to help with human trafficking of young girls. She's sending funds there to different organizations that she's partnered with. And make sure that you screenshot that QR code, grab a copy of that. That'll take you right to the site. Remember, today is Happy National Farmers Day. This is a day to honor and thank all hardworking farmers and ranchers who plow, sow, grow, and harvest to feed our nation. So make sure you thank a farmer today. All right. Thank you so much, ladies and young lady, for being here today.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Kim.
Have a great day, everybody. Stay backstage if you can, Christine, for a second. You go to school, Grace. All right.
Yes.
Mackenzie, take it away. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.